Choose your fighter.
When I'm poor, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back,
Choose your fighter.
When I'm poor, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back.
Choose your fighter.
When I'm poor, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Who's this? How about who's that? Who's this? But who's that? Kick back, I got kick back. Big racks, I got big racks. Big bags, I got big bags. Kick back. How about who's that? Who's this? Who's this? Yo, who's that? Kick back. I got kickback. Big racks. I got big racks. Big bags. I got big bags. Kickback.
Choose your fighter.
When I'm raw, everyone wanna remember my name. Big Smoke.
Hey, it's Christina V, and you need to subscribe to Sojan and Camy's channel, or in the name of Mars, I'll chastise you. Bye.
Alright, how's it going, people? I do apologize in advance. I am sick, so I'm not going to be high energy today at all. But I wanted to do a Q&A. My throat is mostly better now. I do have a cough, so I will do my best to mute the mic whenever I have a cough coming up. But I do apologize if I don't catch every cough, as I can't control it. I do have some water with me. I've been drinking some tea and taking some medicine, so hopefully I'll feel better soon. But without any further delay, yeah. It's been about a whole freaking year since I have live streamed anything. Anything Sojan casual gaming lounge related. So I figured, why not? We will do a Q&A today. So basically what a Q&A is, questions and answers. You guys in the live chat can ask me questions, and permanent comments don't count. But if you're a part of the live stream and you ask me questions, I will answer those questions as long as it's appropriate, of course. If I deem it too inappropriate, I'm not going to answer it. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So with that being said, Captain Derpy joined the chat. Welcome, Captain Derpy. Most of the Q&As are probably going to just be from him. I'm going to be honest right now. But any of you watching right now, feel free to ask me any type of questions you feel you would like to ask me as I rage while I play Cave Story Plus's Hell level. Yes, I am at that part of the game where I'm at the final level. Spoiler alert, but either way, yes, the level itself is called Hell. And I got pretty far multiple times, but I lost horribly. So I'm going to keep the volume at level 10 there. So Derpy says, ahoy, glad to see you live, but hope you feel better. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I'm starting to feel better, but my body still feels weak. I still have the sniffles. I still have the coughs. I can talk like I am right now, and I don't feel any coughs coming up, which is a good sign. I'm hoping I'll feel better by tomorrow. We'll see. So, long story short, I had an original save on the first slot that I deleted because I messed up, and I ended up actually going towards a bad ending. So when I found out how to get the good ending, I decided to start all over again on the second one, and here we are. So we're going to start there. Yeah. Here we go. A black wind blows through your body. All weapons drop to level 1. Kind of sucks. So, yeah. One way to know that you're in hell. I go all the way down here. And he says, welcome to hell. Very happy. It's like, okay, cool. Gee, thanks. Thanks for the fucking welcome. But man, this is going to be extra fun too, because my motor skills are not as good as they usually are, and they're pretty bad. So yeah. Derpy says he has 7 questions. He'll start off with a unique question. What do you think is 3 things missing? Oh, what do you think are 3 things missing from modern gaming? 3 things missing. Words. I can't word right now. The 3 things missing from modern gaming. That is a good question. Maybe more so like what could be in modern gaming that I feel that is needed. Maybe. I would say more voice acting for sure in certain games like Pokemon and all that. Be number 1, I guess, with a lot of games that still don't. Oh, I fucked up. Yeah, number 1, I guess, voice acting for a lot of games. They did it perfectly with Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, and meaning they voiced everybody, including the NPCs with like the side dialogue that didn't matter. Like, if they did that, why can't we get that for modern games like Pokemon and all that? I just feel like there needs to be more voice acting, for sure. I'm dead. This is a great start, by the way. Number 2, I feel, I don't know. I feel like we need to start steering clear away from, like, old, bad game mechanics. Like, don't get me wrong, I like me some old-fashioned RPGs. And I fucking died there. I like me some old-fashioned RPGs, turn-based battle, that's fine. I don't like tactical RPGs. But then there are times where I'm like, I'll play like an old-fashioned type of game with turn-based RPG, and it's all grinding and stuff, and it's like, it's not as fun as it used to be, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like we could benefit from staying away from those old ways of playing games, and just moving towards a modern way of playing games, you know, like more action-based. That's just how I feel. And I guess a third thing I would have to add, if I had to pick something, I'm gonna think about this before going to the next part, because this next part is actual freaking hell. It's bullshit. I guess the third thing I would probably have to say that's missing from modern gaming that, I mean, I guess not really missing, but could be added, is more creativity. Like, more uniqueness to the games. There are too many games that are trying hard to be a copy of another game nowadays. And I feel like we're running out of unique games nowadays, which kind of sucks. There are a handful that I say do meet that criteria, and obviously you're not gonna be able to make a game without like taking from other games. That's fine, but don't make a one-to-one copy of just some other game and then call it your own. Like, I just feel like there needs to be more unique titles, more unique games, if that makes sense. I hope those answers are satisfying to you, Derpy. If you want me to answer in a different way, or if you meant it any other way, please let me know. Fuck. Oh, the baby angels are coming after me. I promise I will not tip low next time. Shit, I'm sorry. I tipped $2 at the Waffle House. I'm not a bad tipper, I'm just joking. But I've done these areas so many times, it's ridiculous. And there's a certain point that I'll hopefully reach in this live stream, that I'll point out to you guys and be like, yeah, this is the bullshit area I was talking about that I couldn't get past no matter what. Okay. I'm trying to be as careful as possible, because I really just don't want to die. There we go. And I'll read from the live chat in a sec here once I clear up this area and just get more health at the moment, because I really need it. It's crazy though. I've seen some people do like 3 heart runs of this entire level and final boss and everything. It's freaking crazy. Let's see. No, you answered it correctly. I agree with you 100%. Thank you. I appreciate that. So anybody else in the live chat, if you got any questions for me, please feel free to ask. I fucked up there. I really shouldn't have done that. Oh well. I kind of just rushed into that without even thinking. But yeah, anybody else in the live chat, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me. I don't mind, even if it's personal questions, I don't mind at all. So here's a little fun fact about me, before I answer any other questions, if there's anybody who wants to ask any questions. A little fun fact about me, I actually grew up with the Super Nintendo as my earliest memory of a console that I used to play with my dad. And my dad and my mom also have, like, pictures of me when I was a kid, just sitting there with a Super Nintendo game controller. Even though I didn't know what I was doing, and my cousin was being a jerk and doing that sibling move where he gave me an unplugged, like, game controller, making me believe I was playing the game. But I mean, I was like 2 or 3 years old at the time, so it is what it is. Shit, I need to get those hearts. But yeah, like, I grew up with the Super Nintendo. My earliest video game memories are Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Super Castlevania 4, and Mario Brothers 3. Those were my top 3 games I grew up with that, to this day, I fucking love them. And I really wish that I could have, like, Super Mario Brothers 3 physically on Switch, which would be nice. Like kind of like that Mario All-Star thing for the older Mario. That would be cool. Yeah, that's just a little fun fact about myself. I'll throw in some fun facts throughout this live stream when I don't receive any more, like, questions and all. Derpy says, second question, ask when you are ready, but in your honest opinion, who do you think is the most evil game company? And evil as in how they treat their fans or employees. That is a really good question. I'm gonna have to be honest. Nintendo. And it's funny I say that because I'm strictly Nintendo Switch on this channel, and I love Switch games. I love Mario, Zelda. I love all that stuff. It's what I grew up with. Nintendo, in my honest opinion, is fucking evil. They will go after your whole fucking life and not give a shit about taking, like, most of your money as you're working the rest of your life to barely pay them what they win in the court case against you. It's fucking dumb. And they do nothing to care about like actual game preservation. They act like they care about their they act like they care about their fans, but they don't. I'm gonna have to say Nintendo's probably the most evil in my opinion. Least evil, Microsoft probably. Oh! Oh no. I need to heal. Oh, wrong weapon. I thought I was charging. But, yeah, and then my earliest turn-based RPG game I want to say that I actually grew up with was probably Pokemon Red. And, because it was the first ever Pokemon game I was ever given as a gift from my dad, along with a Game Boy Color, when I was a child. I think it was like 10 years old or something like that. And, yeah, that's my first ever experience with a turn-based RPG type game. But for the longest time, I was always just a fan of, like, action-based games like Zelda and even Mario games. Alright, give me a sec. I know I'm silent right now, but I'm trying to focus so I don't die here. There we go. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to the area where I thought where I actually died a lot, but yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I grew up with the Super Nintendo. After the Super Nintendo came the Nintendo 64, which me and my dad would rent it from Blockbuster, when you could actually rent game consoles back then, and eventually he bought it since we rented it so many times. And it had like the Blockbuster sticker on it. I'm kind of kicking myself because when I was like a teenager, I was dumb and I traded it away for credit at like a GameStop or something. Yeah, I know. I was very dumb. But yeah, it was those were the consoles that I grew up with. Game Boy Color was my first ever Game Boy. GameCube I got next. I was mostly Nintendo. I probably didn't get my like first PlayStation 2. Probably not until I was like in high school or so. Yeah. Let's see. I thought you'd say EA or what? I can't even read that. Ubisoft. Nah, Nintendo's way more evil. Trying to grab these little taco things. There we go. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna stay right here because I know if I go any further, there's gonna be more of them that are gonna pop up from the ground right beneath where my character is. Because if you notice that it's not a solid ground, it's like brown, they could easily fly up through there. Alright, fuck it. I knew it. See? But I can't collect that shit because it's in the spikes and I'll die. So, yeah. Probably not a good idea to go down there. I'm trying to figure out where I want to go here. Okay. This part right here is so bullshit. I die a lot whenever I do this on my own in this area, including the next closed room, which is also bullshit too. Fuck this area. And then I get interrupted with text. Oh, fuck. Okay. Don't ask me how I did that. Oh. Okay, before I do this... this is gonna be a pain in the ass. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I hate this area. Fucking hate this area. This is all these baby angels. And then this thing I gotta kill. It's fucking dumb. Oh, okay. 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 I need to focus on this part. Because I'm going to die if I don't. Fuck all of you! Ah, I died. I fucking died. Shit, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't have time to actually mute my coughing there. Oh, God. But yeah, another fun fact for me. I want to say my favorite game console of all time that I spent the most time. I would say favorite retro game console of all time, because it wouldn't be fair, because I'm gonna be honest, Nintendo Switch is my favorite game console of all time right now. But favorite retro game console of all time that I spent most of the time in the past playing many fucking hours is a pretty close tie between the GameCube and the PS2. But I would say the GameCube. GameCube, I spent the most freaking time playing that shit back then. Alright, so question 3 from Captain Derpy. If you could make your ultimate video game, what genre would you want it to be? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the name of the genre, but if you know how Crosscode plays, the whole action-based, like open, like JRPG thing, with puzzles added and dungeons and all that. That's the type of game I would want to make right there. It's kind of Zelda-like, but not entirely Zelda. A little more open world, if that makes sense. But yeah, like it would be something like that. That would be kind of cool. And like I said, I would want it to be all skill-based, action-based, special powers, upgrades, weapons, and armor. Like, just the whole 9 yards. And I fucking died. And it's funny because like there are two ideas I have for video games that I do want to make. One of them I do have a complete story for in my head. I honestly have a turn-based RPG in my head, like for that idea of the game, and there's a reason for that. Because just to give like slightly what it's about, it's essentially about these kids, these teenagers that get sucked into a video game. Oh yeah, original story. I wrote this back in high school. And I completed the story back then. I need to revamp the story and change the name because the name was originally Star Kingdom, but then I realized I can't use that name, and I forgot the reason. I think somebody else has that name for something else. But either way, I plan to rename it. I have to revamp the story to match the name. But the story is complete itself, so I see that as a turn-based RPG. And the story's already finished. I do have my next big story idea that I want to finish writing. That pretty much essentially would be kind of like Crosscode, with its like action-based type of thing. Who knows? I might even just strictly stick with that format in the future for games if I ever have the energy and time to make a game. I do want to get the newest RPG Maker on the Switch, physically. Fucking died again. So I can try to tackle doing something like that. It would be cool to make a game. But yeah, those are just random ideas I have. Making a game is not easy from what I've heard from other people who actually make games, and from what I've seen personally with actual indie developers. It's not easy. You can't make promises. Yeah, you cannot make promises at all. And it's hard. It's really hard to like come up with dates, like due dates and stuff if you don't have proper help and time to do it. And it's usually those people that have money and time to do it that they can quit their jobs easily. And they could easily like be like, oh yeah, I quit my job and did this freaking game full time, but it's because they had support from like family or friends, which I don't really have that type of thing. It's like, yeah, I got support from my significant other, my wife Camy, but I would never put her through that type of stress, to try to make a freaking game. Not unless like. She somehow became the CEO of the company, but I doubt that. Either way, I still wouldn't put her through that. So another fun fact about me too. For a while, I actually gave up video gaming. Several years ago, I stopped playing for a long time, and ever since I got into a relationship with Camy, she lent me her PS4 back then, and I remember I bought myself like a copy of, or basically all the Kingdom Hearts like games available at that time, which was 1.5 and 2.5 HD that contained every Kingdom Hearts game, and I borrowed her PS4 just to play them all again. I remember like my old roommate's house, he had like an old Nintendo Wii. He was doing nothing with, and a friend of mine that I was rooming with in that same home told me, hey, I know how to hack the Wii, if he gives it to you, I'll help you hack it. Cool. So we worked together to actually get it hacked and everything, And whatchamacallit, yeah, I was able to replay Okami on the Wii, which was nice, and rekindled my love for video games all over again after years of not playing and giving them up. And I was late to getting the Nintendo Switch, and thanks to my friend Kyle, I got it like 3 to 4 years ago, and I was able to finally like get back into heavy gaming. So I'm really happy to be back gaming again, because it's just something that, like, I feel like I should have never given up in the first place. But yeah, no new questions yet, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. Yeah, alright, let's make sure we get more of those. Cool. But yeah, freaking Cave Story is just bullshit hard. Okay. We can do it this time. Alright. Let's wait for him to shoot his pathetic shot. And I couldn't get him from there. There we go. Not gonna worry about going after the missile right now. Fuck. That was an accident. There we go. Haha! Killed 2 of them. Oh yeah. I will take all the golden nachos. Well, the good thing is I'm, like, really close to full health, which is awesome. Ah, fuck, I fucked up. I'm just keeping an eye on them, too, because if they drop health, I'm fucking going after it. Shit. Oh, come on, I'm fucking up. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, like, that part of the ceiling up there pretty much just shows that they're able to go through. I can't go through there, obviously, but they can easily drop down and just fuck up my whole life. Motherfucker! Blocking my shit. Haha! Bitch! Alright, let's see. Question 4. From Captain Derpy says, what was the first game you played that made your jaw hit the floor from either graphics or story or other reasons? Oh, that's a good one. I will honestly say my first ever game that ever did that for me. And I know you're going to have a big smile about this because you're such a nerd for these games. It was Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the new 3DS. Yes. And when and it was that moment for me when I got to the Saltoro Marsh part of the game at nighttime. Like how beautiful everything looked and the music change. My jaw dropped to the ground. I was like, bro, I fucking love this game. Like, it was just one of those moments where I fucking couldn't grasp how much I love that game. And then later on, you know, I had a similar, I pretty much had a similar experience with Okami when I finally was able to play it again. and fully complete it this time, but it was the Wii version, and it was at the very end with the theme of the Celestials. That was another moment for me as well. But the first ever moment was Xenoblade Chronicles 1 on the new 3DS. I will say that. That was like, ugh. I can't express it. Like, I've played every single Xenoblade Chronicle game except for Xenoblade X so far. And I gotta say, like, yeah, Xenoblade 1 holds that special place in my heart. Okay, sorry. I was hyper-focused there because, as you can see, I'm very, very low on health right now, and I'm probably going to die. But yeah, not a lot of games really do that for me. It's very few that actually have done that for me, where I actually stopped and I'm like, I had to take in the game. Another one that did that for me too was Phenotopia Awakening. There was just a part of the game where I advanced to a certain like level or something that made me have that jaw-dropping type of moment, you know? And I died. After all that fucking trouble. Feel free to answer when you want. But what is a franchise you have always wanted to get into, but something held you back? A franchise. I don't know if it's called a franchise or not, but it would be Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is a series that I hesitated getting into for a very, very long time, just because I don't like tactical RPGs, and it's nothing against people who love those games, because I know my only patron Tyler, he loves those games, Fire Emblem in general, and I see why. Like, I can appreciate and understand why he loves those so much. My problem was, it was always hard for me to get into it because of the tactics part. I don't like tactical RPGs. I tried multiple times to get into those type of games, and I just didn't like it. One of the more modern, like, I tried getting into the one of them on the 3DS. I forget which one it was, and then again I tried getting into Three Houses on the Switch, and I don't know. I couldn't get past the gameplay. That was the only thing that made me just stop playing. I didn't like it that much. The story, especially on like Three Houses, was really good. The 3DS one was also good too. Music's great and everything. Characters are great. I love pretty much just every little thing that they kind of throw at you in these games. They're really cool. I don't like tactical RPG type gameplay. I don't like it. Like, you can take a favorite game of mine and make a tactics version of it, and I probably will not play it. Like, I love Okami, and I love Xenoblade, but you give me a tactics version of those games, I'll try it, but I probably won't be able to finish it. And I'll probably end up quitting, and then just look up, like, somebody's playthrough of it online, just because I'm curious of the story. I don't know, I can't get into that type of thing. I'm gonna die here. I knew it. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really see myself getting into those type of games. I really tried. I don't know. I feel like the only way I could get myself deeply into a tactics type of game is if somebody like donated a large amount of money to me and said, you have to play this game to completion or whatever on the channel. And I'll be like, fine, I'll do it because you donated money. But it's like, I don't know if I'll have a good time doing it. But me by myself, like playing by myself, I just don't have the attention span to do it. And speaking of all that, another fun fact about myself, besides Pokemon, I used to hate, like, turn-based RPG games. I don't know, it was kind of weird. Pokemon was the only exception back then. But I hated, like, Final Fantasy VII. I used to hate, like, actual, turn-based RPGs when I was growing up. It wasn't until I was out of high school, or towards the end of high school and later, that I finally started growing to appreciate turn-based RPGs other than Pokemon, and get my mindset in the zone and realize, oh yeah, like, Pokemon is a turn-based RPG. It's like I really need to just stop being dumb about it, and I learned to love turn-based RPGs. Like, I still love them to this day. In fact, Nintendo Switch made me play a lot more of them in more recent years, so let's try to see if we can do this again. We got about 13 minutes left of the live stream. That's all I'm gonna muster this time around. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to actually beat this level. We will see. No! Fuck you! Motherfucker. Damn it! Another fact about myself is I'm not amazing at video games, but I actually was able to beat the main story of Celeste on the Switch just fine. But the DLC itself, I just can't get past it for some reason. And that was without the assist mode. I didn't even know the assist mode existed until after I beat the main story, which is funny. Oh yeah, it doesn't let me go past without her. That's good. That would have been a mistake. But yeah, anybody else watching, if you got any questions for me, feel free to ask me a question and I'll answer your questions. Just take a look at the live chat, see if there's any questions that Derpy's asked me that possibly I may have answered those questions already, but I don't mind re-answering questions. Question number 6. If you could have any voice actor from a game, you could say his name or role, as a guest for a live stream, who would you want to have on and what game would you guys play? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty tough. I'm gonna be fucking brutally honest right now. Ray Chase. I don't fucking care. Ray Chase is awesome. I would honestly, like, bro, if there was a way to have Ray Chase just chilling with me on the couch while we play, like, some fucking Demon Slayer, like, some multiplayer matches or whatever, like, bro, I'd be down for that. I can't think of any other voice actor. I like Ray Chase so much. Like, he does the voice of the Master of Masters from Kingdom Hearts, and he also does the voice of Tengen Uzui from Demon Slayer. So I can't think of any other voice actor. Ray Chase. All day, every day. And it's funny, too, because I remember I shared, like, a meme. It was, like, a shitty meme where I showed, like, the Master of Masters revealing his face, which was a fake image, obviously. And it shows Tengen Uzui's face because it's the same voice actor. And then I did, like, a shitty, like, Aliens, like, the Aliens guy where he has his hands open, and where he's like, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens meme, and his hair is crazy. I put, I put Nomura's face on him, putting Kingdom Hearts X Demon Slayer, and I tagged Ray Chase and he liked it. He actually liked my freaking stupid meme. It's on Twix. I call it Twix because it's like Twitter X. So now that I think about it, Twitter X just sounds like Jason X. It's just like it's Twitter but in space. It makes sense because it's fucking Elon. Alright, time to focus! Just gotta shoot and kill all these baby angels. And make God mad at me even more. Oh no! It's like I'm just a robot. I ain't do nothing, I'm a robot. Fuck! I know I got 8 minutes left. I think I'm going to try this 1 to 2 more times. We will see depending on how bad I die. But yeah. Yeah, fuck. Okay. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this. We will see. One more attempt. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother anymore. My brain. I'm gonna throw on the image and just call it quits. My brain's all scattered because of how sick I am. Anyway, last and final question from Derpy is: what would you say is the worst game you ever played? And don't you dare say Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I know what I said in the past about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It is not the worst game I've ever played. It's quite hard to say. I have to give it to a game that I actually beat and spent hours on. And that game is Legend of K. Yes. Legend of K was originally on the PS2. It's like a game where you play as like a tiger, like animal, humanoid thing, and at first it was cool because I'm like, all right, he has a sword, it's cool. But the game tries to be a 3D platforming game, and it fails hard. There's just many things that could go wrong that could essentially soft lock you in the game. Prime example, you need a certain amount of keys per dungeon to actually get through the dungeon. If you open up a chest and you let the key fall to the ground and you let it disappear and you save the game or whatever, you pretty much are soft locked and have to start the game all over again, or have to immediately reset the game from the last save. And yeah, it's kind of dumb. There's a lot of bullshit about the game. I do want to play the game on the channel again someday, just to show how bad it is. It's hilariously bad. But I have beaten this game. But my god, it is the worst game I've ever played. Dan says, "Hey, I'm late. I thought this was going to be on Thursday, not Wednesday." No, I said Wednesday. I'll stay on for another like 5 to 15 minutes if you have any more questions for me. Especially Dan, if you got any questions you want me to answer live. I'm done playing Cave Story at the moment, so I'm just gonna keep this image up. Let's see. Derpy says, by the way, the 8th and final question I had was, what is one movie you would want to turn into a game? Huh. There's so many good movies out there, and it's like I have to think about a movie that actually has not become a video game, and that's quite hard. I'll have to think about that for a minute, but I'll answer Daniel's question here, and then I'll get back to that one. Favorite DS game? It's another good one. I honestly have to say it's kind of like that weird mix between Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 And there was another game, and I know Derpy's mentioned this game before. It's a really good DS game, but I keep constantly forgetting the name of this game, but it's quite pricey in the aftermarket. I'm going to try to look it up. Hold on. Sword Fighting Games DS. I don't remember the name of it. It's almost like a top-down Zelda game. I don't remember the name of it. I apologize. But, it would be between that and Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. I like them both. But if I had to choose, probably the one that I played the most, the Kingdom Hearts game. Now, back to Derpy's question, asking me a movie that I would turn into a game. I don't know, and forgive me if I mention a game. Forgive me if I mention a movie that already does have a game for it. I'd probably pick Spirited Away. That would be a cool video game to play. Just revisiting the entirety of that movie, but in video game form, like an adventure. And, essentially giving that like cell shading like animation that makes it feel like it's actually an animation from the movie. So but yeah, I don't remember the other favorite DS game. I don't remember the name of it. So I have to stick with Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 at the moment. As of right now, I don't own any DS or 3DS games at the moment, but there are a pretty decent amount of DS games I would like to replay again in the future. So, I'll allow like maybe one or two more questions here. I've been going on for like an hour. I'm kind of out of it at the moment. I'm kind of still sick, so, but, yeah, if you guys want to ask me at least one or two more questions, I'm down. And then after that, I'm going to wrap things up. And then a real quick thing for myself, another like fun fact, I guess. I never got the original DS. My first DS was actually a DS Lite. And it was the later versions of the DS Lite, which was a cobalt blue one. That had like a matte black finish to it when holding it, and then the top part on the outside was like a glossy, deep dark like navy blue color, and I really liked it. So that was my first ever DS. I never got the tank one from before that, but at the time, I think this was in middle school. Yeah, I was that's where I met my friend Dan, and he had the original DS. Which he lost, which is kind of a bummer, because I had like a copy of Pokemon Fire Red and like Mario Kart in that DS, and we don't know where it is to this day. It kind of sucks. Let's see. I have one more question. No problem, Derpy. Now, since you gave me permission, what is the scariest moment for you in gaming? Scariest moment in gaming. That's a really good question. I know it's not going to sound like much because it's not a horror game, but growing up with this when I was a kid was the part in Ocarina of Time when you go to the Shadow Temple and that freaking ugly demonic fucking worm thing that's covered in blood just comes from the ground, and his squiggly arms are just trying to grab you, and he tries to hug you and eat you and shit. I forget what that thing is called, but it's exclusive to Ocarina of Time. That thing was fucking terrifying. That was one of the scariest moments for me in gaming when growing up. Omori had a couple of those moments for me as well, but I love Omori. Alright, so Dan, do you have any more questions for me? Yes or no? I don't know if you hopped out or not, but I'll I'll give it another minute or so here, and if I haven't heard from you, I'd say if I haven't heard from you by 5:02, I'll give you a minute. Then I'll end my live stream. But yeah, I'll give you, Dan, one more question for me if you want to ask. But in the meantime, while I wait on you, I'm gonna probably throw in maybe one last fun fact about myself. So even though I was late to playing the PS2 in high school, when I finally got deep into it, I got deep into the PS2. Ape Escape was where it was for me. Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper games, you name it, Jack and Daxter, all those amazing PS2 games, and even going backwards to PS1, like it was one of those moments where I'm like, man, like I love the fact that I grew up with Nintendo games, but I'm like, man, it was like discovering something new for me, even though this was like years later, you know what I mean? And like years after the PS2 had already come out, and but it was still a couple years before PS3 came out, so I was still fine. And all in all, I mostly only play Nintendo and PlayStation games. And it's funny that I say that because in our current home right now, we have a PS2 Slim, PS3 Slim, a PS4 Slim, and a big ass PS5. It's not the Slim version. And the Nintendo Wii, as well as the Nintendo Switch, which Camy also has a Switch as well. So even though we have more PlayStation consoles than Nintendo, I play more Nintendo games than I do Sony. So that's who we are. With that being said, I'm going to end it here because I don't see Dan responding at all. But thank you so much, Captain Derpy, for joining, and Dan for joining late as well, and at least asking one question. I appreciate all the questions. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys are watching this after I'm done with the live stream, and you wanna see me do another like live Q&A someday. I don't mind doing it again. I'll be free again next week, Monday and Tuesday, so I might do another one of these on Monday or Tuesday next week. We will see. This weekend, Camy and I really want to live stream things where the first live stream is going to be us playing Alone in the Dark on the PS3, as well as Spider, the video game, which you play as an actual spider for PS1, all in one live stream. And then on Sunday, we're going to do pretty much our once a year Obakaidaro live stream with some friends. So it might just be me, Camy, and Derpy, and that's it. Who knows? But thank you guys so much for joining. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Be excellent to each other. And please pray for me. I really need to get better. Thanks. Bye-bye.